Hey guys, happy Friday. So for today's fun Friday challenge, we're going to be creating a paper fish. So this is what this looks like. Kind of a fun looking little guy. He's got some crazy eyes because I made it that way. Some fins, a little mouth, and his little back tail. So it's called a moving fish because he can move like he's swimming in the water. So he doesn't take that many supplies to make him. All you really need is some paper, a pair of scissors, and some tape or glue, kind of whatever your preference is, because we're going to need to put some pieces of paper together. And then you can use some markers, crayons, colored pencil, pens, pencils, whatever you need to decorate your fish, because we are going to be adding some details to our fish. All right, so before we get started, remember to ask for a guardian's permission to use the scissors or for their help when you need to cut some of those items. All right, let's do it. So first you're going to take your piece of paper, and we do need a square and not a rectangle. So easy fix. So you're going to fold this corner down, and you're going to make sure the top meets at a point so it's not overlapping or anything. Make that kind of nice and tight. Neat crease. So you're going to have this extra bit of paper here, and you're going to cut that off. And it does not have to be folded super perfect, but the little more on the neater side. All right, so let's open that up. We have our square. Take notice of that line that you have kind of down the center, that crease. So you're going to take one corner, and you're going to kind of fold it until it's parallel to that crease right down the middle. And you're going to want to make sure this stays at a point at the top. So make sure your fold or your paper does not go over that line right there. Right, you can kind of make a tight crease if you want to. It doesn't have to be super perfect. I just like to do that as a preference. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So it looks like open, and you folded it inward to that center crease right here. All right, so now kind of open it up, and then for the next step, we're just going to have it folded from that crease here, you see? All right, so you're going to have this like weird shape, kind of long. So we're going to want to trim from here to make like our mouth shape. All right, so I'm going to fold it this way. And then we have like that point at the bottom. I'm going to cut. And it all depends on how tall and wide you want the mouth. So it's up to you really, the shape you want to cut it at the top. So whatever shape you want the mouth to be on top. All right. So I cut it at a nice little round angle. And then you're going to take these pieces, fold them inward. So you're going to start to see the shape of your fish. So here's where you would put his eye, and here's the top of his mouth. All right, just to give you a little image of what we're going to look like soon. So then unfold it again. And then to make our fish movable, we're going to have to cut some lines here. All right, so take your paper, and it's all unfolded again, so we're folding straight down the middle. And like I said, we're going to have to cut some lines. So if you can see, there's still our kind of those lines those creases that we made earlier. And you're going to want to start cutting a little bit further away from where your head is going to be, and then cutting straight upward. So our crease is going to be at the bottom, and you're going to cut straight to this line right here. And then you can make as many cuts as you would like. This is what's going to make your fish movable. Like I said, you're cutting all the way to that crease right here. The one that goes straight across like this. So I'm not doing mine too far apart. They're probably about 1/2 inch apart. Cutting all the way to that line. So your cuts should get shorter and shorter as you go along. And it should start moving already, as you can see. Fish is coming alive. You're cutting all the way down to the tail. I'm gonna do 2 more cuts and then 1 very, very tiny cut. All right, so I'm gonna open it up all the way. You're gonna see all our lines that we cut. All right, so after looking at all our lines inside, we're gonna fold these in. For those of you who had my class, it's kind of like how we did our name tags. We kind of made that little tent shape. This is what it looks like on the bottom. You can use glue, you can use tape, whatever you have around the house to put it together here. I'm gonna use tape because that's what I have. All right, so now I've taped mine together. So now it's starting to look a little more like that movable fish that we talked about. So at this step, you can kind of pause and start decorating your fish. But if you'd like, we're gonna go ahead and move on. All right, so from here, what's missing? So we need that little mouth, and then we need some fins for our fish. So I'm not gonna really do a top fin. I'm only gonna do the little side fins here, just so he can swim. All right, so we do have extra paper. Remember that paper that we cut off? All right, so this is what it looks like. Or if you have extra paper, you can just use other paper too. So to make his fins, your fins can be whatever shape you want them to be. They could be round, they could be rectangular, kind of however shape you're feeling today. So I'm just gonna make mine. They're gonna be slightly rectangular. Let's see. Kind of like a Finding Nemo situation. They're not gonna be exactly the same. So I made this little shape. And then I'm gonna do another one. Not exactly like this, like I said, I'm gonna go full Nemo here. All right, so here's my 2 fins. One's a little bigger than the other one, totally okay. So I'm gonna decorate these and then I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so here are my 2 fins. You don't have to do it exactly like this. You could do kind of whatever design you feel like today. All right, so I'm gonna take these and now I'm gonna tape them onto my fish. So I'm gonna tape them to the bottom here. So it's gonna look a little bit like this, just so we can have him moving. Take some tape. So you'll be gluing or taping like I am a little bit closer to the end of your fin here. So this is gonna be the part that's under the body. And then I'm gonna tape it right under here. So I'm not gonna tape it too close to our little movable part here, but just close enough. All right, so there's Nemo's 1 fin. Let's do the other one. Again, like I said, we're taping it close to the end of the fin here. All right, so I'm gonna tape this on this side. All right, so there's 2 fins. So for the back, you can do like little mermaid tail, but I am just gonna do a simple little fin on the back. So I'm gonna start, it's almost like a triangle. Well, it basically is a triangle. So, but just a flat top. All right, so now I'm gonna decorate it really quick. All right, so don't mind me while I draw. Just gonna do some basic lines on it. All right, this is what my tail looks like. And so here's his little tail here. And I'm just gonna tape this here, right on the back. All right, here we go. All right, so now we have our tape. Taped it, and then we're gonna add his tail right here. So remember, this part's gonna go down, kind of to a wider part. All right, down the center. All right, there we go. Now we gotta do the mouth because he doesn't have a tongue. And he definitely needs a tongue. All right, so for the mouth, the bottom part of the mouth that you see on this little guy that I did earlier, again, extra piece of paper that I have. So this is still left over from when I did the fins. So I'm gonna kind of measure to see how wide his mouth is. And I'm gonna cut a half circle out of that. So I'm not gonna measure completely perfect. All right, so I'm gonna cut my half circle. And don't let it fool you if my fingers look really close to the scissors. I promise they are not. It's just the angle of the camera. So here, half circle. So let's measure that out on his little mouth right here. Yep, still a little bit too big. Totally fine. Trial and error. That's how we learn. Okay. All right, and it's a fit. Okay, so you can decorate the mouth however you want. You can put a tongue, whatever your heart desires. All right, so for my mouth, I drew kind of like a weird little tongue and some taste buds. So you're gonna take that, and you're gonna glue that or tape it right on the inside here. Right about there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my tape. I'm going to tape it from the bottom here, just because that's easiest for me, but you can make sure it stays in there, whatever way is easiest for you. So I put some tape on the bottom here, and I'm going to do the same thing inside on the top. Okay. Take it and put it right in there, just so it stays. All right, so he's coming together. His funny little mouth. Now we're going to do the eyes. So I'm just going to take my marker. And I'm going to have him I'll have him looking forward. So I'm going to draw a circle here. All right. I'm going to color mine in really quick, just so you can see. So he's just looking, well, I guess it looks like he's looking that way, but he's just looking straight forward. Where my other fish, he was kind of scared and looking behind him like, what's behind me? All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. My eyes are definitely not gonna be the same. Totally fine. All right, so there's our fun little fish friend. Now he's ready to swim. All right, you can color him, decorate him however you want. Don't forget to send us a picture, and thanks for joining in for our fun Friday challenge. See you next week.